Today on Metaphysical Mississippi, we have guests Rhabb Seymour and Yoakum. And of course, you've got me, your host, Emily, and we're going to be discussing two great events coming up the second weekend of August, so stick around. Rhabb and Jon, thanks for being here with me today. I know that I just found out that you're coming into town, Rhabb. You don't live here in the Jackson metro area right now, but I've seen where you and Jon have collaborated before, and I missed out on that event that happened earlier in the summer, but you're back in town in a week.
Yeah, we're 12th, 13th time frame.
Yeah. And I thought it would be great to have y'all come and talk about it, because it looks like it's going to be so much fun. And of course, everybody knows Jon. Jon's been on the podcast several times, but Rhabb, it's your first time, so we're going to put you on the spot in the hot seat a little more.
Spotlight's on Rhabb.
Put me on the spot.
Yeah. But y'all want to share a little bit about yourselves or talk about the event?
Well, I'm really excited to come back to Jackson and be able to collaborate with Jon again. So we, Jon and I met. Oh gosh, Jon, how long? Like,
it was back in like early 2011.
2011. It's been a moment, and we used to do events. I had a production company called Speaker Freaker Productions, me and another friend. And yeah, Jon worked with us and did productions and played music at events. And that's really kind of what brought us together. I would say more than anything is music and gathering and just being in friendship. So I think, if anything, dance has always been really a part of it.
Yeah.
Now the dance that I find myself in nowadays is more focused on ecstatic dance and authentic movement, and so we get to bring that in. So a lot of my background has to do with authentic movement, as well as contact improvisation, as well as just working with quantum fields and somatic therapy in spontaneous movement. So it's just really kind of coupling all these little avenues of knowledge throughout the years and packaging it all together. I think dance is incredible, and just really being able to open up an ecstatic dance with Mr. Jon is just such a pleure.
I'm super honored to have you to be able to be here and facilitate these offerings, Rhabb.
So it wasn't really, y'all weren't really into the metaphysical stuff at first. Well, I mean, it wasn't at a metaphysical level. Or you might have been on that.
I would say, I mean, my focus in the past was electronic dance music events. I've always been in this path of the metaphysical in many regards. I have a bit of a rebel bone in myself, and I grew up in Mississippi, so that's just kind of what really instilled my interest into metaphysics, specifically astrology. And I'm just a sucker for myth. I just like story and language and mythos. So really, that's what kind of really was the bridge way into astrology, specifically was mythos. And just viewing astrology as a language and then piling the stories on top of each other to come to some certain understanding of what we're doing here. And I like the transpersonal approach because it brings in psychology and spirituality and, go beyond, the surface level of what's your sign to actually explore deeper meanings and themes of spiritual growth and self-transformation and just truly the journey of the soul. I think that is just what I found specifically within using these systems.
Yeah. No. I'm so glad you brought that up, because I wanted you to articulate or explain what transpersonal astrology was. And you did, so thank you. It's where you pull
Well, yeah, I mean, just to even,
astrology and counseling.
I think it's, yeah, it's beyond oneself. I think the way that I describe it most is exactly within the word in itself. It is above oneself. It's looking at a bigger picture, you know, seeing it from a different perspective, understanding that it's multiple different perspectives within this whole cosmic soup. Yeah. And so, yeah, just from a transpersonal, it's like viewing oneself on the fourth wall, you know, and just seeing the archetypal and metaphorical languages play out. And it's amazing how similar they are to each other. And it just makes us, you know, as unique as we are, it makes us, you know, understand how small it is in the whole big scheme that it is of existence.
Yeah. Do you find people want to understand their self or use astrology solely for self-improvement or improvement of a community, or like the earth?
I think it goes,
you know, the whole.
I think it's a really great question. And I think, and I'll speak from my own experience, what I realized, the more that I worked on myself, the more I go deeper within myself, I am helping my community.
Mm-hmm.
The more that I work on myself, it just becomes that, you know, it has become that. But so I just want to go work deeper and know myself more. So, and then it does help the community. I think that's the biggest gift often within sessions, for astrology sessions, for example, is often people, yeah, it's self-development, you know, but yeah, you get the kind of, I don't want to say basic, but for lack of better words in this moment, like basic questions of like love and career and money. And those are, yeah, so that allows me to see like how normal those things are, those topics are for everyone. And, you know, and so that allows me to kind of step out of my stuff, you know, and just like see it and be like, you know what, you're kind of going through that too. And it allows me to, yeah, to have more compassion. I think it's a tool of compassion, really.
Oh, yes, I love that. Yeah, you hit it when I'm in a season of change, you know, and the more I look inward, the more I want to give outward.
Right.
The more
I think that's the biggest,
the more I want to give it. Or the more I'm receiving, the more I'm receiving, the more I want to give.
Yeah, I think we naturally want to be in reciprocal action. You know, I think individuals are innately good, and I think that individuals want to do good things. And I like, even the word good is God. The etymology of good is God, and that may be a triggering word for some, but if we just look at what it means on a collective level, that theme of God, and that's something really special. You know, I understand that language can be triggering, and also it can be blossoming. And we have the ability to really see individuals outside of our own story. And I think there's two different types of people. I think that there's individuals that work with perspective, and there's individuals that have perception, or there's individuals that have a perspective or they have perception. And I think that when we're in our perception, we're in it. We're totally in our perception. But if we're in a perspective, I understand that you have a perspective, I have a perspective, John has a perspective, my dog has this perspective. Does that make it any different from my perspective and your perspective? No, it's just a perspective of the greater elephant in the room, right? We can all, there can be 20 people describing the elephant. We all know that. story. And it's just like understanding that it's all piecing together. And I think that astrology is a language to understand. I think systems create understandings create progress create change, and change creates evolution. And I think we need a system to have an understanding with you, and it just step by step, and we get there to evolution.
Yes. Oh man, that just makes me, it blows my mind a little. Just I don't take stock in what is 20 feet above me, or what, yeah, or a little higher. And okay, I'm sorry. I'm just a little speechless at the moment because I'm just absorbing it and processing it. John, do you have anything you'd like to add to that? Because that was profound. I think it was profound what you just said.
Absolutely. I mean, like I told you before, like,
yeah,
as far as astrology, Rhabb is definitely the guy to talk to. And I don't know that I could really add anything to that much that would that he hasn't already said. But I think that was beautifully stated, and that like it is a system to help us understand really the more kind of inner workings, of both ourselves on an individual level, but as well as the collective. And it allows us to understand that system and how to like really kind of work with that, and to be able to navigate that, within our own lives, as well as, intermingling with others as well. And I think that just the whole transpersonal, aspect of it is a really beautiful thing. And I think that was really well stated, Rhabb.
And okay, so movement is also connected with movement in the dance, and the that movement is, I'm trying to formulate, it's firing off my head, sorry. I'll just let you go on because there was something that was going to connect, but I'm just going to ramble. But I could see where movement in ecstatic dance does fit well kind of with astrology and being aware of what is going on in the heavens. So,
well, I think I'm actually working on a program right now with astrokinetics. And so, I mean, if we just imagine for a moment us going through space right now so quickly, we're just traveling this ball of fire, and all these planets are spiraling around it, and we're moving so fast, and then simultaneously the earth is spinning, and then simultaneously we're moving, and then all this movement is all connected to each other. So I will say that these are two different events, but I do blend that knowing of archetypes, metaphorical language, words that we speak and we don't even understand what we're saying, and just bringing it back and viewing it outside of oneself and taking a moment and to see it outside of oneself. And I feel like dance can externalize that internal process.
ooh.
And in ecstatic dance, I think what's so profound in ecstatic dance or authentic movement, I think there's true power in being witnessed. I think that is the gem of being witnessed in only our movement, only our signature expression, because nobody can move like you, baby. Nobody can move like you, just like no one can move like me, right? So that's why our individual wiggle and jiggle is so potent and so profound to add into this cosmic pool that we're operating in always. Whether we understand it or not, we are constantly in a celestial dance, and we're being moved. Just like the moon moves the tides, know that the planets move your body, and know that you are influenced by those big, massive planets. And just like the moon moves the tides and works with the women's cycle, and these planets affect you as well, and on a even bigger scale. And so just seeing it, once we understand, I think once you have awareness of something, you can take responsibility.
Oh, like that. Yeah. Oh, that's deep. It's really deep. We put ourselves inside of things nowadays that blocks, like I said, I only am aware of the 20 feet above me, that blocks out the universe and things that are going on. We don't want to be affected by the weather. We want to control our environment. And we have no control over what's going on in the cosmos. I don't know. Maybe we do. Maybe we have participation in it, but I don't know. Am I making any sense?
You make complete sense. I understand it as just like, seeing, well, I kind of view everything as a maybe.
Yeah.
Even what I'm saying right now is half true because it's my perspective, right? And that comes from experience, and you have your perspective. Well, does it make it any less true than my perspective? Even if it's wrong. Oh, it's so, on a collective level, it's wrong. Well, if it's all enveloped in love, right? That's the whole thing about it. It's like, if it's all enveloped in love, well, that part of love is there too. And so if we're saying it's all one, right? And that's all a part of it too. And I think that's where we get the yin yang from. And it's constantly in movement, right? It's constantly balancing itself out. Yeah. I'm a really firm, like when you said, do we affect it? I think we are a planet, and I think that we are a vessel of many stars. And I truly believe the old axiom, as above, so below. Like, I really believe that. Yeah. In my core. Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not very metaphysical. I'm a lot further in understanding it. I'm a newbie. I've only been researching things for a year. And so I really need to get a hold of what was it? As above, so below?
So below. Yeah. You can go deeper into the Hermetica with that. Yeah.
I've heard that said, but I've never actually found out where that comes from. So
yeah, this is Hermetic philosophy. So you can look into that. Yeah, you can look into the Kybalion, you can look into the Hermetica. And I have some great sources I can give you too, that we can nerd out into the metaphysical forever. It's just kind of my thing. I love story, and I love the possibility that it's unlimited stories. And with religion, religion is organized cult plus time. It's a cult plus time equals religion.
Yes.
And then within religion, there is so many different mythos. And so you can go through all of these mythos within that, and they all kind of boil down to the same archetypal energies that we know, like, the trickster energy, the sage, the mother. It kind of really all works back into these 12 lights too, like the 12 disciples, the 12 signs, right? The 12 tribes of Judah, 12 comes back, and then that's really 3 and the Trinity, and then Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. It kind of goes throughout the different pantheons. And then what I love, for me, I can use astrology as a tool to go deeper into those themes. I think it's really incredible if you know how your partner loves or receives love. I think it's amazing if you know how your child thinks and maybe intellectualize or understand learning. I think that's kind of an astro hack to know, to like kind of work with. And I think it's incredible to know how you need to emotionally calibrate yourself, to have this like, oh, my moon is in Capricorn. I need space and I need somatic therapy to assist me with feeling, So it's like, I think I know many people that drive around without looking at a map once. Many people. And I also know if you were to look at that map, maybe you would see a shortcut to get you there quicker. Maybe.
Ooh, I like that.
And so it is a birth chart, and a chart is a map. And so you can look at it, you can skirt through life never knowing your birth chart. And I know plenty of people that do that. Plenty. And guess what? They're successful, they're doing just fine. And, and I just feel like, hey, sometimes it's nice to read the directions and see that, oh, that peg actually goes into that hole and it will actually fit together a little bit better, And so I think these are just good astro hacks.
Oh, wow. I understand astrology so much better now. No, I mean, really.
Right. It's tools. Yeah, it's a tool. Like all these stars. I hope you come to the class because you'll learn so much more.
I think I'm gonna try to
go
make it.
on and on.
That would be amazing.
I would love to do that.
I know definitely I want to do the dance one.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
It's gonna be a good time.
Yes. Yeah. Well, speaking of the class, okay. So Saturday night is going to be Cacao, and that is going to be Saturday night at Soul Synergy, Rocks and Crystals. Is that
correct? From 6 to 8.
6 to 8, and that is August 12th, and that's a Saturday evening. They can just show up and pay at the door, right?
Correct. No worries on pre-registration or any of that. It's just an energy exchange of $25, cash preferred. But if you need to use Venmo or CashApp or something like that, that's acceptable too. So just show up and we'll see you on the dance floor.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like I said, I saw pictures. It looked like a lot of fun, the last one y'all did.
It's really good times. Super excited to have Rhabb back so soon again.
Yes.
Super excited.
Sunday, August 13th. You'll be doing the Sacred Blueprint, Rhabb, right, class?
Yeah.
And that is from 1 to 3:30 p.m.
Yeah.
There again at Soul Synergy, Rocks and Crystals.
That's correct.
Same location.
So people who have no idea about astrology can show up and from this conversation, I'm more intrigued about the whole astrology thing, other than just looking at, I always get astrology and horoscope mixed up.
Well, they are interchangeable. There is, and we'll talk more about that at the class. They are like basically just show up. You can find your birth chart. Just come with your birth chart. So you will need your birth time. You will need your birth time. You can use, I use an amazing app called Time Passages, and you can download for free, and you can get your app. And as long as you come with your birth time in that app, download it, I can help you set up. But if you get that app, it's pretty plug and play. Just get your birth time. You can find it on your birth certificate, or perhaps have a lovely conversation with your parents, and maybe they can help you along. But generally, it's on your birth certificate, and get the exact time is really important. Yeah.
Let's just say.
And so even if you don't have that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, what if,
even if you don't. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say, what if
there's a lag.
What if what is written on, you've got a birth certificate that dates way back, and that they put on there that you were born at 1 a.m. sharp, and that's probably not really realistically when you're born, but, or, Is there?
We have about 2 hours to
margin?
work with.
That's what I wanted to know. Okay.
We have about 2 hours to work with, but generally, if it is on the birth certificate, it's around that time.
That's what I wanted to know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's around that time. And so, I mean, yeah, when you get those perfect, like, oh, I was born at 1 a.m. or 12:30, and you're like, where are you?
Yeah.
So, if we get close, the closest that we are, of course, we want exact time. Well, I love times that are like 11:16 and 12:32. Like, I know those are like, oh, this is your exact birth time. That's amazing. But just from like working in a hospital myself, like it's pretty exact. They pretty much, like they'll get it to the time pretty much. So as long as we have that, you can have a chart, download it. More specifically, I work with the whole sign system, and maybe that will get lost on people. If you come with your birth time and come with time passages downloaded on your phone, I promise I can get you where we need to be.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I assume for dancing, just come kind of comfortable.
Come comfortable, yeah.
Comfortable.
For sure.
Open heart, open mind kind of vibe.
Yes.
Art, just want to say that, thank you again for having us on the show. And Rhabb, thank you for being here. And thank you so much for coming back and gracing us with your presence for not only one, but two amazing offerings. It's going to be a pleasure to be on the dance floor with you and everybody that shows up again for this amazing cacao ceremony and Dance to Connect workshop. And then we'll do a brief sound bath at the end just to kind of cool down and just kind of center into that and like really kind of process that experience. And then we'll take a journey into the cosmos the next day and learn about some astrology. So that's going to be super exciting and super honored, and can't wait. Really looking forward to it. Always a pleasure and an honor, my friend.
I love it. So if they want more information, I'll have the events on our calendar at metaphysicalms.com. And if y'all want to just share your Instagram or Facebook or how people can follow you guys personally. I mean, I will put it in the show notes and on our website, but for those who are just listening by podcast, do you want to share?
Sure. So as far as like for on our end, for the dance event, of course, I know Soul Synergy is posting as well, but you can find Ecstatic Dance Mississippi on Instagram or Facebook. And then also you can find Holistic Hearts Collaborative, and we'll be posting for both events as well. And we're also on Instagram and Facebook. And then Rhabb can share his.
You can find me on Instagram at RHABB. That's Rhabb, RHABB. And on Facebook at RHABB, Rhabb, SEYMOUR, Rhabb Seymour. And reach out to me there. My professional calendar is on my Instagram, and you can, if you're interested in getting an astrology reading or just some more information, I offer daily astrology videos for free. So if you want to come and learn, just follow me daily and get little steps along the way to understanding ourselves a little bit more.
Oh, wonderful. Guys, again, thank you. It's going to be so much fun.
Thank you, Emily. We can't wait.
All right.
Good, great time.
All right. We'll see y'all later.
You guys.
The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent.